All right. It's probably going to be hard to do, Governor, but could you, in less than 10 minutes, why don't you?
Well, look, I'll just take a few minutes. And, you know, I think that there's a number of things I'm proud of, but I kind of call it a 360 program. So you all know I guess it bears repeating. We're down, a lot of jobs, 350,000, and now we're up almost 250,000. I mean, it's a pretty good turnaround, great turnaround. We're now, I just saw there was a survey done the other day. We're in the top 10 now in terms of business-friendly states. Only 2 in the north, Indiana and Ohio. And we're also diversifying the economy. So, it's not just agriculture and manufacturing, which is critical to us. It's our DNA. But now you're seeing energy and financial services, logistics, IT. So we want to continue to diversify the economy. Then on top of it, what's really working for us is having to balance budget, running a surplus. That reassures people here in the state and it gets people out of the state beginning to think about coming here. And then I think just this morning I was talking to somebody, Jobs Ohio, when it first started, people were like, what is this organization? I think it's the most powerful economic development entity in the country, because we now have people working there who are really, knowledgeable about their particular areas. And you don't want to have people that are fumbling around trying to learn on the job. You want to have people that can go into these things and have good and deep knowledge about the way things work. So take our energy guy, he's been in oil and gas for almost 30 years, so he understands it. Our financial services guy also runs Jobs Ohio. In terms of the issue of transparency of that organization, it's probably the most transparent private organization in the state, because it's got, first of all, board of directors that have to do the same ethics requirements as the people who serve on the board of trustees. It has a public audit by a public accounting firm. It has a compliance audit from the auditor, and there is also a person above, a group above Jobs Ohio that look at all the direction that Jobs Ohio is going and look at all the potential agreements we make. Then, if there's any tax provisions at all, that goes through the state, and then everything is ultimately released. So I think if other states can figure out how to duplicate this, they will. And it's a hub and a spoke. So for your communities, I mean, the one thing we would love to see out of your communities is your economic development people actually doing economic development. Now, I'm not saying that they're not, but there's this economic development business has gotten to be a pretty nice little job, but you have to be aggressive in it. And we take our orders from you. I mean, we were just talking about Daisy going up to Worcester. I mean, they probably contacted us somehow. I don't know the whole story, but the more that your folks think about things that can work there, the more we can come and try to respond and work with your people to make sure we land more opportunities for people. And you represent some of the great communities in the state, and we need to grow them. It's not all about the big cities. It's about having it spread across the state of Ohio. So I'm pleased with where we are economically. The income tax, we've spread $3 billion in tax cuts. It's the most, I'm told, in the country, but the income tax has still got to come down. And then on the other side of the coin are these other things, which are trying to get people who live in the shadows into a position of where they can have opportunity, whether they are people with addictions, whether they're people with mental illness, whether they're the working poor. We're about to run a big program to transform welfare so that if you get help, also located in the help center is a job training, businesses and a knowledge of what jobs are potentially available. So we train people for the jobs that exist. But we want to make sure that everybody, minorities, everybody has a chance to rise inside the state. And I'm pleased with what we're doing in terms of freeing up local communities for the resources to treat people who are in need. But we ultimately, want to get them up and get them moving again, and get them in a position of where they can have a good life too. So I kind of call it a 360 program, trying to leave nobody out. And but there's an enormous amount we have yet to do. But look, we definitely have momentum, and we're definitely heading in the right direction. So how's that for? You didn't think I could do that?
5 minutes. That worked.